Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve so much more in the same amount of time? It's easy to think they are just smarter or better, isn't it? But more often than not, it's about how they manage their time. How do I know that? I tested this theory on myself. You see, I used to see time as this constant, unchanging thing. An hour was just an hour, right? But I learned something crucial. 10 hours isn't the same as 10 separate hours spread out. 1 hour of intense focus can outshine 2 hours of scattered effort. An hour at the start of the year isn't magically different from an hour at the end. And here's the kicker. Time is limited. I used to think there would be plenty of time to get things done, or that someday, magically, my results would improve without much effort. I kept waiting for the great idea to shortcut my way to success. But the truth was, I was just procrastinating. I was scared. I was looking for excuses. I used to spend days figuring out what's the next move. I would have Monday crisis, weekly crisis, daily crisis, midday crisis. And when I feel like I have finally figured it out, the perfect plan, and then celebrate on it, it all went to naught. When I came back to actually executing the plan, I would start having doubts again, and end up going back to square one. I hated that I do this, but I just kept repeating the same mistake over and over again. I knew something had to change. I had to get out of my own head, use some sort of framework to get myself sorted. Anyway, what I'm really trying to say here is, there's no perfect strategy that's going to save you. The best approach is just to dive in, figure out what works and what doesn't, and adjust along the way. It took me a while to get it, but time is the ultimate resource. No matter how skilled or fast you are, if you stick with something long enough, you're bound to see results. And this isn't just about career or money. It applies to relationships, health, and knowledge too. One intense workout won't make you fit, but consistent daily exercise over years, that's where real change happens. Spending hours cramming for a topic might make you feel like an expert, but you're actually only scratching the surface. Just like time can build something incredible, it can also unravel it. Ever heard of the saying, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards? It's true, there's no standing still. Skipping workouts for a year will undo your fitness faster than you built it. Maintaining wealth, health, or relationships can be rougher than starting them. One needs creativity and risk, the other needs consistency and patience. You've seen it in your own life, I'm sure. And before you go on worrying about how long it's going to take, don't. Trust me, just start now. Don't stress about how long it's going to take. Be excited that you're going to be building something great. I used to struggle with this concept, and it might sound cliche, but hear me out. Our potential is limitless, and what we achieve is up to us. Thomas Edison once said, if we did the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Now that I've hopefully convinced you that you can do anything you put your mind to, here's a framework to get you started. This framework is referenced from the 12-week year book, which has this main idea: achieve more in less time by measuring more frequently and more effectively. As a start, instead of annual goals, break your work into 12-week chunks. 12 weeks is enough to make significant progress, but short enough to keep you motivated. There's greater predictability. You know when your actions will get you results. Increased focus. You can zero in on the few things that matter most. Enhanced structure. You can align your actions with your long-term vision. So make each week count. Spend 15 to 20 minutes at the start of each week, reviewing the last week and planning the next. Each day, take 5 minutes to review your weekly plan, reflect on the previous day, and plan for today. Check in with your plan throughout the day to ensure that you are on track. Evaluate your progress weekly on two fronts: what you've done and what you've achieved. Why? Because what you do doesn't always equate to the results you expect. Maybe it takes time, or maybe you're doing the wrong thing. For example, if you want to be a creator and measure success by views, your actual metric should be how much content you produce weekly. But creating content doesn't guarantee views, and getting views doesn't mean you're creating content effectively. Your weekly review is then to figure out the missing link and continuously figure out the actions to take to get the most effective results. And that's it. That's the key to reaching your biggest dreams. Remember, the difference between greatness and mediocrity might seem small day to day or week to week, but in the long run, it's huge.